Okay, cool. Let's go. Right. What we're gonna do is we're gonna backtest Apple, and we're just gonna look at some of the opportunities that price has given us throughout the years, well, or the days really. Um, cool. Let's just say we start. So that was obviously the COVID drop. Earlier. Cool. Let's start over here. Right. Cool. So we can see the structure here really nicely. So if I was to, cool, we can see this is the low price broke structure. This is the high. And then again, price broke structure again. This is the high, right? So we can see this is what's holding the lower time frame. Okay, or even intraday at this point. Okay, intraday really. Um, and we can see this area this area right here, this reaccumulation is what's holding lower time frame. So I mean, it's very difficult for us to find that full candle, but we're just going to look at it from the zone, like the area. um, so we know this whole push down, right? This whole push down here. I'm going to put it demand zone. Okay, this is what's holding the lower time frame. um, Holding lower time frame, and then we know this is a demand zone because we can see that price reaccumulated itself there, and that reaccumulation caused a new high. So what we'll need to do, that's what we need to wait. Okay, so this is our trading range. We're just going to wait for when price comes into here. Ideally we're going to look for an accumulation in here where we can see the change of order flow. We can see price has tapped into a demand zone, and we can see that accumulation has occurred somewhere and not really nowhere, right? So we wait for that change of order flow by price showing us the break of order flow, and then we can look to take it up to make a new high. Okay, so that's the plan. So we're just gonna wait. Okay, and what we can do in the meantime is we can watch the order flow coming in, right? So we've got break of order flow here, but this low. And then we've got price pushed in this new low. And then price pushed in this new low. Cool. So this is what's holding the order flow right now. Let me make a note. So yeah, as of yet, we can see we haven't broken it yet. Okay, but we are getting a nice 1 drive, 2 drive, 3 drive over here. So we're just gonna have to wait for this. This is what we need, okay? And we can see 1 drive, 2 drive, 3 drive, creek, reaccumulation. Okay, so this is our SC, and this right here would be the extreme of order flow, and SC order flow. Okay, now what about this? Where did this tap into? let's see. Let's jump up. Okay, we can see that all price did was it didn't quite come down into the mitigation candle, but it did just come and fill up in balance. Okay, so that's where price came down into. And I also can see I like the fact that this is the open. Okay, so this was my first point of interest. Point of interest here. Okay, and I like the fact that this is also the open. And if you was to look at inside this leg here, you can see low, high, lower low, lower low, and this was that booth. Okay, and then we could say this was the mitigation of that. Okay, and we have got a nice retracement of about 80% in there. Okay, so we can say this is mitigation of that. So if anything, we'll be looking for an accumulation somewhere in there with the stop just below it. Somewhere in there. Okay, so now, okay, all we need to do is wait for price to come back into there. Right now, this is just order flow. Okay, once price does this without coming down, okay, if price goes ahead and make a new lower time frame high, then this will become the extreme of the structure. Okay, but right now it's just simply order flow. Oops, okay, so price is coming in. Okay, and we can see the accumulation taking place, right? Now, whether we could have got in or not, let's find out. Okay, so there's a free drive accumulation. Okay, there's the creep. That price didn't come back enough. Didn't even come to the slingshot of this leg. Fair enough. Okay, but so far so good. So right now what we need to wait and see is if price goes ahead and give us a new bullish order flow. And it does. Okay, and it does. Right. We haven't quite yet broken the structure. So the structure has been held by this. And this. Okay, so we can see bullish order flow. Maybe price to tap into like a higher time frame in here. Daily. And you can want to the 80%. But I guess I would still be looking down there somewhere. Cool. Nonetheless, that's that. So this is that break. and we can see this, this reaccumulation here. Okay, this is a point of interest. Okay, and then this will be the extreme, right? Because we can see this is the mitigation of that. So we don't really want price to come below that bullish extreme. Cool. So those two are the areas that I'll be waiting for. And this is now what's holding lower time frame. Okay. And now we need this to be broken. Okay, so this is the higher low. Fine. Okay. And we can see here high, high, break of order flow to come back into our point of interest one, point of interest two. And then that goes type 5 head and shoulder distribution in place. But again, we're bullish lower time frame and intraday and also higher time frame. So we'll be playing out of that and out of that. Okay, so price tapped in, my alert would have gone off. Let's see what's happening. Conditional low, so we can see here, this is a low, price push conditional low. Okay, and here we've got that break. See if I can find a nice candle. Wow. Okay. We'll go ahead with the 8 hour. Now land, I think the 8 hour 80%. Is it 50%? Yeah, is that 50% of the 4 hour? So I like that there's confluence within there and something like that. Okay, so let's see what happens. Oh, it's creating this liquidity here under 50%. Right, okay, cool. So at this point, this is still intact. Okay, this limit order, I guess, would still be intact because of the accumulation of the bullish order flow, and this right now is still what's holding order flow. But I'm just going to remove this for a second because I'll be looking for this inside point of interest, this reaccumulation here. Okay, and playing off this candle or whatever this whole area is. So let's see. Okay, so somewhere in there. And I like how the liquidity is being formed. Okay, so what we do need is just break, take out the liquidity as equal as here, break of order flow, and then after retest to go up. And if price goes ahead and makes a new order flow high, I won't be looking for that, okay, because order flow will be held by this. Okay, so this area is not gone. Okay, I'm not looking at this area anymore. I will do, no, I still want, because we're going to see the cause of this, and I'm thinking it's this big reaccumulation here. Okay, so same thing, that break there. Just gonna wait for it to finish and start the retracement, which is right now. Okay, so first person is new high. Now we got this low here. And we got this high. Okay, so we can see this clear distribution happening. Okay, and again, when we look at the market cycle, it makes sense, right? So if we look at this accumulation, this reaccumulation, distribution, redistribution to go into our SC or our extreme to reaccumulate, and then just goes from there. So market cycle makes sense. So this is our distro. This is our distro, right? It's actually quite a nice one as well. It's on a higher time frame, like a 4 hour as well. Nice. Mm, mm. And there's your break of order flow, as well as your major sign of weakness. Okay, if you could get some sort of lower time frame distribution in here, that would be a good hedge to get into the sell to come back into our buy area here. So let's see whether price does give us that. Not really. Okay, cool. And this is where we are with current price action. So let's look at back to, obviously we can see that price has reacted well to the zones or areas of point of interest that we were looking at, starting from here and then this one as well. Somehow we've missed the entry. So let's go back and let's look at what has happened in there and where we could have profited from. Okay, so this is the point of interest number one that we was looking at. And again, we was waiting for the accumulation to happen. Okay. 18, 17. We'll stick with 18. Okay, so we can see do that, you do, and mm, mm, test. Second test really didn't come about 50% of this. Yeah, we didn't even touch that. Cool, so I guess we're gonna have to go down. Oh shit. Mm, I guess it'll be this of this micro accumulation right in here. No, I was looking at you can see one drive, two drive, three drive. We can see so low, new low. This is what's holding structure. Low, new low. This is what's holding order flow, right? And you can see this went ahead and broke it. So now let's find out where did this tap into. It was the 18 minute. Okay, it did come to about 50%. That will be your first entry right here. Okay. Okay, first entry right there. Let's talk about some projections. This is where I would go to break even. Okay, why? Because we got this low, low, this low, got booth. Okay, so this booth and break even, I will be taking partials. I'll be taking partials on price. Take this area of redistribution out. So up in here, I'll be taking partials, and then I'll be holding it to go ahead and make a new high. So partials one, once when we have this order flow break, partial two, and then I'll be taking partial three up in here, and then leave 25% as the runner. 25 runner. Okay, so that'll be the plan for this one here. Cool. Let's say 1 to 63, 67, sorry. So that's that. Now let's look at where we could have gotten into with this area here. What were we not paying attention to? Again, only reason I'm dropping back down to the lower time frame is because it's in our price point of interest. Right, this one is going to be a bit tricky. So low, new low. This is also holding order flow. We break it. What do we do? So we can see 1, 2, 3 drive. We can see price distributing itself. Let's see where this price comes into. Okay, put me order flow high. And then break the order flow again. And then break it again. And then off is gone. Right, so where did price come into? Okay, you can see here price came to about 50% of that, and this was around the market open as well. Okay, 50% of this, and I guess what it came into was this slingshot. This slingshot reaccumulation that caused the booth here. Price came into this area and it's gone. Was taking out all the liquidity in here. So could we have gotten, if you let me, no, I don't really see anything that's clean. So I guess this one would have been the miss entry. But that one, if we was watching the lower time frame, we would have seen, new high here. So 75% of profit is gone in here. Even if it was to, I don't know, risk $50, let's just say, right? I don't know, 50K account. That $50 would have gone into that three 3,358. So that's not bad. And then if we did have a runner, of 1250 to the next high, would have been 1,035, and then to the all-time high 1,368. Currently we're at 1,073. So that's some interesting one. So let's see. So I'll be pleased to see what happens in here, okay? Because we can see this is that reaccumulation up in here. This for me still was holding lower time frame, right? Or even intraday at this point. So whether we tap into this, redistribute, come into intraday, even up to here, that'll be a good market cycle. So let's see. Okay, but we didn't really do want anything that we could have gotten into. So yeah, we'll leave it at that.